Kulamonsi Hutch, Nina Lenda Melipan, Nituluenzi Machalon Osapewinut, Lenape, Pukawanku Oninas. And if you have your closed caption turned on, I bet it just went crazy. So I'll translate for you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Machalon Osapewinut. You can call me Yankee. I am Lenape of the Turtle Clan. And we're down here on the Maumee River. Greetings, Brown Dwarf. Thank you for coming. The water is high, man. I mean, it is really high. Whoa, whoa, come back here. I haven't used this in a while, so I'm a little sloppy with my pan zoom stuff here. There we go. You can see how high the water is today. Hey, Gigs Chad, welcome, my friend. It is great to have you here. I needed a major getaway, is what I needed for a little bit. A little escape of, I don't know what you want to call it, reality of life. You know, when all that crap piles up and you just need a few minutes to embrace Kesa Hanaki, or my mother, the earth. And it's kind of what had to go do today. Didn't realize I was going to be flooded beyond belief down here. I guess I should have known better, considering we've had more rain this season than I think any February on record. Usually I'm able to walk all up through here, and it's just a major swamp. Oh yeah, hey Brown Dwarf, yeah man, I'm doing the shorts. Yeah, feel free, man, to strike up any conversation about anything you feel like talking about. I'm not on a special protocol or agenda with my video here today. I know a lot of times I am, but like I said, really, this was. I decided just to kind of bring you guys along as I try to escape my mental state I'm kind of in today. Yeah, I'm almost like I'm right up next to the highway. Even I can't even get to the trails to go down in away from everything. It's so flooded. I love some of this wood that's floating around here, though. Some of them pieces are pretty wild. That right there would be pretty stained up. There's just so much water down here today. You can usually go out past those trees that you see. There's usually like a trail. There's a trail out there. But yeah. Not even a dry place to sit around here. I'm gonna cross here. I was looking at it and thinking, well, I'll walk on the logs, and I know I'm just gonna get wet. Boy, I bet that's deep right there too. Let's find out. It ain't but one way to find out, right? That wasn't bad. As long as I stayed on them logs, I come across that all right. It's not that I was worried that here I probably can't cross. Ugh. It's not that I'm worried about the water being deep underneath this, but I'm worried about the mud being deep underneath this. Yeah. Man, I don't even like being by the road like this, man. It's too close to people. I needed to get away from people. Welcome to the Black Swamp of Ohio, man. That's your getaway in Ohio, Black Swamp. You don't wear waders, you don't walk anywhere. It's Some people, why do you roll your pants? Well, because I walk around in a black swamp all the time, and I don't like my pants being muddy all the way over my boots all the time. It's kind of out of the ordinary. They must have been saving that from the flood. We'll go up some high ground. Ugh. Whoa, let the sun shine in. Nice and warm up here. It is too, it's like temperature's changing with every step away from the river. All right. Oh. Supposed to be 60 degrees tomorrow, March 1st. It's in the 40s today. Not too bad. What do we got going on? I didn't even look at the chat. All right. Okay, hello. See, you started doing some shorts. Going for a cruise. Hey, Uncle Al, welcome. Bigfoot should have went to Florida if he was smart. I'd have went to Florida if I was smart. I don't know about Florida. You guys are in the swamp too, man. I'm sick of the swamp. I am sick of it. Sick of the smell, sick of the walk, sick of the swamp. A lot of geese. I imagine they don't know what to do. Animal trail. I'm trying to keep it. All right. You know what? Then I see something. There we go. We'll go up here. Oh. Across the logs. And I'm gonna sit here a moment. Too noisy out here today. It's not really giving me the peace I was looking for. I didn't have enough time to go further away. A lot going on. Everybody's sick or dying or Jesus, it's just something. It's always something, isn't it? Take me away. So yeah, Grandma's back in the hospital. That's kind of a regular thing, but still a lot to deal with. Grandpa, he's like 3rd stage COPD. Not good. It's not good. And it don't even stop there. There's injured family members and just We have 4 lakes within an hour that have, so that good place for ducks, hogs, and the big man. Yeah, no doubt. I bet it is. There are some legends about here, right? Actually, down the river from here a little bit, of what some would call, I guess you would call a grass man here in Ohio. Oh yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, and it's right downriver from here. Now, this past summer, and I'll go ahead. I'll even divulge some of this because I don't know, there's some of it I don't want to tell, and it's not because like, oh, I think people think you're crazy. It's not that at all. In fact, I don't want to tell because I don't. Because there's other people involved, and I think there's a moral issue. For me, there's a moral issue. But anyway, back to this off the track here, and I'll probably hit more on this as I go. But I did a really fun excursion this past summer, researching the areas that was supposed had this rock slinging, like I say, grass man is what they're more apt to call it here in Ohio. Now, of course, when it comes to the woods, finding the things like all the Bigfoot hunters like to point out with the high broken tree branches and blah blah blah. It's not that I don't believe that as being signs. It's just that, well, it's just that sometimes one tree breaks while all the rest don't, and it doesn't necessarily mean a creature did it. But that's neither here nor there. It's just, it's for me, that's never enough proof is all that means. It doesn't disprove anything. It just means that I need more than that. That's not gonna, conclude something for me. So like saying, what I found in the little expedition that we did was things like that. I mean, I got videos and pictures, and I could sit and try to tell you guys that's a Bigfoot broke this or whatever, but I don't know that. I know that insects and woodpeckers work at trees high up, sometimes, 9, 10 feet off the ground, and they work in those crotches where eventually water gets in, the tree rots, and they're easily broken. And that's how it'd be like, oh, look, it's 8 inches around and it's snapped off. Well, yeah, because, really, for the last 20 years, it's had bugs and woodpeckers and water, and so, yeah, it snapped off. I could show you stuff like that and say, try to sell it as Bigfoot, but that's what I one thing I always said I'll never do. I'll never resort to being a Todd Standing to where I have to make it up to get somebody to believe something. If I can't get it, then I can't get it, and that's that. Back to my investigation this summer. Found plenty of things like that. One of the coolest things I found was a really big grass nest. But again, now let's talk about the grass nest for a moment. And I'll release a video on this stuff later on. I had planned to. Like I said, the reason I didn't release the video is because of the moral part, which we'll kind of get to here in a minute. But the grass nest. Really cool. Got pictures, videos. But was it made by a creature? Or was it made by, the elements of river and whatnot? Was it made by people just messing around? These are questions I can't answer because there's no hair samples. We looked. We tried to find anything that would tell us that this out of the ordinary thing had some other purpose. We couldn't find it. So again, a non-conclusion. I could sell it as a conclusion, but the truth, and that's really all I'm ever after. And the truth was non-conclusion. Now let's get to the moral part. How much of this do I want to share? I'm not going to say what direction on the river this part took place. Get out there and do your own exploring, and you'll find and you'll understand what I'm saying. But why I didn't want to come forward with everything I found when it come to what was possibly throwing large rocks and making crazy sounds to scare off kayakers that come near the islands. One of my nights. Now, I got to say this too. So I'm going to watch how much I say, because I don't camp on these islands down here, and that's my admission right there. Never, ever, ever. It's against the law. However, the islands are open to the public, and you are allowed to use them. You're just not allowed to camp, okay? So if you ever see me on the island, and even if I've been there for 2 weeks, I'm not camping. I'm just there enjoying the wildlife, like legally allowed. Anyway, back to track. I encountered a fairly large group, and I don't know, you're ready. If you guys are Bigfoot lovers, I know you're hanging on the edge of your seat, of homeless people. That's right. Let me say it again. I encountered a very large group of homeless people. You might want to call them feral people. Not because they're all like monsters or half animals, but because they literally lived out there on those islands and nobody knew it. And still do. They're migrants. They leave in the cold winter. So like right now, we probably wouldn't find them, but right now, I could take you right to their shelters. Matter of fact, some of the shelters were so well built that I think they'll last long after the homeless people get to, use this area without being busted. And being busted, that's the moral issue. I don't have the right to tell somebody where somebody's hiding out or whatever. I don't think they're lawbreakers. Are they lawbreakers? Well, if they're camping on the islands, they are. But so that comes to an issue for me personally. I don't consider that a lawbreak. I consider the Mother Earth as everybody's mother, and I don't really obey those type of things myself. So, finding this group in one of the spots where noises and rocks being thrown was described, kind of led me to a small conclusion. Now, again, this just doesn't confirm. See, it's one of the hardest things when you talk about the mysteries of the woods and whatnot. One of the very hardest things is that you deal with people that either believe or don't believe, in most cases, and they're on extreme sides on most cases. So it means you have to kind of walk on eggshells, and you have to constantly remind people that I'm not saying, this is like with the Todd Standing videos. I never did you hear me say in any of those videos that I don't believe in Bigfoot. You'll never hear me say that in any of those videos. What I said in those videos is Todd is a liar, and I have even more proof of that if anybody wants it. I mean, the guy can't tell the same story twice. He's a liar. So, and that's what that was about. It was about honest research gets pushed to the side when people like Todd come out with these bold lies and run them all the way to the bank, fooling everybody. Any legitimate researcher who slips into his trap and believes him eventually rebukes it. The names he brings up in his live shows, the one doctor's dead, never got a chance to rebuke it. The other doctor that he brings up all the time was just recently asked in an interview what he thinks of Todd Standing, and he quickly said, I have no comment and don't want any more questions on the subject. That was his response. And Todd talks like, oh, these are my friends. They know. It's that stuff. That's why I called those videos out. There's a clarification on that anyway. Because I also, I've also talked with Todd. So, That was another big part of it. I talked with him, and because he didn't like the questions I asked, and that's all I was doing, was asking questions because I didn't understand contradictions. When a man tells me two stories, I have no choice but to ask which story's true. I'm sorry, I'm human. That's kind of the way it works, I think. The way it works for me, anyway. But he ultimately ends up blocking me, and then, having a big tantrum on his live show about me, and whatever, dude, But ultimately, I want to know the truth. That's what I want to know. Do I believe people see something? Yeah, I do. Too many people see something. But what do they see? That's what I want to know. To me, the thought of a woodland spirit creature whose job is to care for the animals, for me, that's culture. I was raised believing that. That's part of my Lenape heritage. Masingu, not Bigfoot, Masingu. But he doesn't have anything to do with a Bigfoot. He's like, in religion, if you were to compare it to religion, he's more like an angel. That's what he is. Like how Christians give power to an archangel. He's a deity with power. That's what he is. Does this mean that's what I believe it is that people are seeing? I don't have an answer for that. Man, those are really questions for, I don't know, man, minds of spiritual nature. I'm not ever going to claim I know all the answers of the world. But I know that people have experiences. Maybe experiences are personal. I mean, isn't that a possibility? And if it were, okay, if you, and I'm sorry, I'm not looking at chat, I'm climbing around here. So, if it were, possible that sightings were personal, individual, then maybe it is spiritual. Maybe what you see is only for you to see. Maybe that's why you never get a good picture of it. Maybe that's why you never can prove it. Because it wasn't meant to be something to be proven. It was something meant for you. A message, maybe even, for you, personally. See, that's how I would take it myself. Like if right now Bigfoot come walking out of the woods, I would be asking myself what the purpose was, what he was trying to tell me. Because I feel the same way if a raccoon crawled down out of the tree and came right here to where I could see him, I'd have that same question. But that's me, and that comes to my upbringing is all that is. That's what that is. Is it right? Is it wrong? Hell, I don't know. Ask me after I die. I guess maybe then I'll have more answers. Because, we don't know. I would love to see some type of evidence of a animal that exists out here that nobody gets to see. I would love it, honestly. But it's got to be there. If you have hair samples, then you have hair samples, right? And you bring them forward. So, okay, so let's be honest about what happens with this stuff. Either A, you're Todd Standing, and you just claim you have them for 20 years, but never get them authenticated by anybody. Okay, that's kind of one weird step. Or number two, you can be like the woman that does that research. And all of her hairs that they were so 100% sure about were completely contaminated. They were contaminated with human DNA. You can't catch Bigfoot. Outdoor University Online, come. The growing large rocks. There you go. Okay, wait a minute. Let me back up a little bit. Yo, Nudge. I'm sorry, man, because I get talking and walking and I don't look at the chat. So I'm trying to go back to where's the last thing I seen. And I see, all right, hello, Bobby Jones. If you're still in there, probably gone because I ignored you. You don't know what they say about big feet. Yeah, I've been hearing it all my life. Yo, Yankee, what's up, Nudge? Great to have you out there, brother. If you're still there, sorry if I missed you. Have you seen Outdoor University in Ohio? Got a couple of Bigfoots on tape. I've been reviewing a lot of the ones. I don't. Do you know the date in like the month and year that they recorded them, and that would tell me more about, give me a better idea if I know about it. You need more. Let's meat raw and giant fish too. Well, we got giant fish out here in this river. That I'll testify to, and y'all can call me a storyteller if you want or not, but I've caught fish out here that I could not land not because we couldn't tire them out and bring them right on up to see us, because we could sure do that, but we couldn't get them out of the damn water because we didn't have no nets and we didn't have no gaffing hooks, and we had nets, but we didn't have one big enough. We only had the biggest net Bass Pro Shop sells, but we didn't have one big enough to get this damn fish's head inside the ring. Think about that for a minute. But yeah, now I can guarantee you that. I guarantee anybody, you want to go fishing with me for a day, if you got access to a boat, we'll go to a spot where I will guarantee you at least one 30+ pound catfish, guaranteed. And I say 30 being nice because I know we pull them up out of there 60+ pound, but those are hard to believe. So those I got to show you the pictures of. But I got them. I got all pictures of my big fish now. Let's go. Hey, Hunter Tracks, man, are you in Ohio? I'll tell you what, man. I would love to have somebody that likes to go out and do this type of shit to go along with, because I always get put on these time limits. Yeah, I got issues and health issues, but I can do all the crap I do. But people worry that I might not make it home. So I get in trouble if I go out by myself. Everybody wants me to have somebody to go with. And so, if I had that, man, I tell you what, I have been running up and down this damn river for years, brother. Many, many of them. And if you say Toledo, I'm I'm down here on the river, but I'm a little bit further upriver. Where's he going? That's one of them big old seagull or cranes. Crap, where'd he go? Oh, there he goes, flying off again. That was one of them cranes. I was running my mouth too much. He would have landed right there, and he probably had a message for me. It was actually, shut up. That was probably his message for me. But yeah, Hunter, man, I got, I cannot, why can't I get my zoom back? There we go. You got boats too, dude. If you got a boat, you're gonna fall in love with the places I take you down here, man. And I know if depending on what you got, if you got something that's got a pretty good sized motor on it, I can navigate you around most every island here up on this end, which would be above the old Forest Railroad Bridge, Forest Street Bridge there, if you know where that is. Because I'm closer to Grand Rapids, but I'm not that far up. I'm not as far up as the dam or anything. I'm below the dam. And there's actually water down here, bro, on not where I'm standing. You can't see because these islands are blocking it, but there's like a series of islands. Like this right here, that's not the other side of the river. That's just an island on the river. And there's a crap load of them, like all the way down the river. About a mile down, I think, almost to where one of the best spots is. The river is, it's like all the way for a mile long. It's over 20 foot deep right through there. It's just, it's crazy deep. That's where we do the best on catfish too, by the way. But if you, and I'll tell you what else too, man, if you're interested in like Bigfoot, searching for stuff like that, I could take you to some of the things I found here, which I think would probably sway you to my page about some of the sightings that take place in this area. That that it may actually be people in an attempt to scare people away for a reason. But I mean, like I said, I know where all these spots are. I'll take you right to all of them. It'd be fun. And if you got a boat, it'd be extra easy. I do it. I can do the islands without a boat. Not this time of year, but in the middle of the summer, because on most of them you only got to go about waist deep to cross from island to island once you go downriver. But when you get off away from the islands, they drop off really deep. Yeah, you show me some too, man. I would be into it without a doubt. And Chris Gibbons, welcome. Dragon Tech, what's going on, brother? I'm just, man, I needed a mental break. So I come down here thinking I could get away from the road and take a walk down the trail and go down along the river, but this is the trail. This is the trail. That's the trail. Oh yeah, here you can see the trail good over here. Oh, there we go. This is trail right here too. I don't know why I have trouble moving that thing like that. Yeah, see, that's the trail too. Don't be fooled by that solid looking stuff. That's just white foam on top of the mud. Well, all right, hell. I really, like I said, didn't have a whole lot planned or anything for the video. Just was kind of out here to take my mind away from normal life, which is sometimes needed. And sometimes need that little getaway. I wished it was a bigger one. I wish I was able to get through here. You usually go the trail right there where I showed you. It's all flooded over. And then you go out here. And then on the other side of these trees, the trail goes woof. Over there on the other side of those trees is the trail. Yep. Oh, what fun. Oh, that's a big tree floating. Loch Ness Sea Monster. I hear my geese back. Oh, where'd Loch Ness Sea Monster go? Oh, there he is. Where's my geese at? Oh, there they are. There they stand.
Hi.
Hi.
Quite something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's flooded like crazy. You can't go anywhere today.
Yesterday we were walking through here.
Did you walk through yesterday? Yeah, there was a lot of rain last night.
Yeah. I think it's still on the rise. I think it probably won't be for another day or two. It's still so there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was say usually you can walk all the way. You can walk all the way out here, and you can walk all the way up to the up to the bottom end of the stairway.
It's not unusual for it to get up to the top of that tube over there.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it up there before. It's definitely the stopping point in the trail today, though, isn't it?
Yesterday it wasn't cold enough that all that would have been snow. Boy, that would have been something.
Yeah, you need a pair of waders to get through the trail today. Welcome to the Black Swamp. That was why I wanted to go further away. Oh, come on, stop moving. There we go. There's the geese. He's sitting on that log. You guys see him? Right there. All right. Yeah, a nice little bit of scenery. I'm going to have to go back to reality here in a few minutes, so unfortunately. More to the Ketchum DNA story, call me. Bud, yeah, bud, small, medium, large. Sketchy. For the grass man too. Yeah, I can take you right to a couple spots here where we found some nesting too. You might be interested in seeing it. Like I said, well, you might not have been here in the beginning of the video. For me, I can't make a video and tell people that this is a Bigfoot nest unless I see Bigfoot make the damn thing. Okay, that's just my personal principle. Because I could stand there and show it to you, and we couldn't find any hairs. Who knows how long ago it was exactly made either, too, right? But we couldn't find any hairs, and we did look. I could imagine ways that it could be made, either by man or by, even in some case by nature. The way the water spills up. I'll bring you guys back down here when the water goes down, and it's kind of neat the way things like to clump together, almost like they're magnetic at some point. And like I said, I have to show you what I mean by that when the water goes down again. But there's another Loch Ness Sea Monster. Wait, where is he? Look at him. Look at that one, guys. Oh, look, his butt's even bobbing in the air. Look at it. What is it? What is it? I think it's possibly a dinosaur. No, I don't know. I actually believe it's a big old piece of dead wood. That's what I believe. But I'm not one to push issues unless I can prove an issue. So, but again, if you are into that research, you might I have a different perspective of some of the things I found, and I have no problem with showing you. No problem whatsoever. But again, there is a situation where I do know that people at times inhabit these areas illegally. And of course, that is always in the front of my mind as a number one reason why a person would make crazy animal sounds and throw rocks from behind a bush to simply scare away a kayaker who might tell the park authorities that there's people staying out there on that island. So yeah, I mean that is a factor. And we, here where we live, we all right in this particular area, there's a lot of people. To think you can go anywhere around here and not step where a person has stepped already is, that's like impossible. Even these islands out here, I know it's impossible because I've stepped all over every darn part of them myself. And I'm not the only one, I'm sure. I've met others on them, so. But again, it doesn't disprove. But I would love to see something that proved. I really would. I truly would. Hello. Hey, what's going on there, brother? Hope all your homesteading's going well, my friend. I'll call you right back. Okay. Just give you a call. How am I calling you, bro? Did you tell me how to call you? 372. DNA story, right? All right, Hunter, what do you got on your, do I have contact information with you already? Like on something else that I can get a hold of you on? Instagram, Twitter, like those type of places that you can just like send private message. I never understood why YouTube didn't buy into that little part of it to let people send private messages to instead of comments. You know what I mean? Comments are for everybody to see. And wouldn't want you to put contact information in comments, type of deal. Wouldn't expect somebody to. I mean, I do because I don't care. So I mean, my Instagram, my Twitter, they're both open so that anybody can message it. Like you don't even have to follow me to message me. All right, number in the comments. All right, man. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. I do got it when I get out of here. I mean, I got to go back to reality. I got a lot going on. I don't know if I told you, it's like my whole immediate world is dying around me at the moment. So it's kind of life is kind of hectic. There's no respite to it when I leave here and I go back into all the woes of the world. It's just natural. It's natural woes. Everybody either dying or injured or I mean, it's like cut me some slack. But you have to say, man, you won't ever get any more than you can handle. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. All that good stuff. Things I remind myself of, but don't always do real good. Reminded myself doesn't matter sometimes. Sometimes it just don't matter. Though I noticed I got a lot of mud on my boots. It means I'll get in trouble when I get home if I forget to take them off right away. Oh, Lordy. Oh, look at this here. Look at that big old tree pushed over like that. That thing's got to weigh a few 100 pounds. It had to be a Sasquatch. Because, of course, the wind could never move a few 100 pounds. It would be impossible for a tornado or hurricane to do such a thing. I know. People misinterpret me a lot. I know I sound like a doubter, is what it sounds like. But it's really, that's not really the case. It's just that I need something that I can't easily dismiss as something else. That's what I need. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more honest I can be. That's honestly what I need. It's got to be something that can't be dismissed as something else. I don't mind hearing others' stories and accounts and whatnot, but in some cases, even those are difficult. If I take a moment, like if I believe you, here's what happens with me, okay? And I'll just be honest here, be completely honest. This is what happens, this is why Todd hates me right now, okay? If I believe you, I listen to everything you say. Like I literally download your words, man, as you're speaking, because I believe you. Then, when I hear you speak again and you tell it completely different, my brain starts going bing, 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 bing. Because that's a liar. That's what that is. That's somebody, if you can't remember your story at least the same way, you're really making shit up. That's what you're doing. So the more I follow or believe in somebody, the more I learn them. And then, good God, I have interviews with Todd. We'll go to Todd once again. I have interview tapes recorded of him telling the same story 3 different ways, putting himself in 3 completely different scenarios. I got stories of him claiming to be the person to lead the authorities to a dead body, although there's no police record of this. That was awesome, man. This is all kind of. That's what I'm saying. When people start telling me wild stuff and they already prove themselves as inconsistent, I have no choice but to be true to myself, and I have to go deep. I have to look. And then people like Todd end up hating me, and it's not, man. Don't hate me because I'm not attacking Todd for telling people about Bigfoot. I'm attacking Todd for lying to people. He may have had an honest Bigfoot encounter, but we'll never have the proper details about it because he's lied too much. He don't even remember his own story. On his own live show the other day, he says, somebody brought up the apples in the hand because he got caught with that gorilla hand in his car, and somebody brought up the apples, and he was like, I never did a video with apples. And then somebody else dropped a link and said, yeah, you did this video about the apple. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember doing that now, and that Bigfoot took it. Now let me ask you something. Just let me ask you something as a person. If you recorded a Bigfoot taking an apple, would you forget about that video? I mean, honestly, that's just an honest question. Would you forget that you have a video of Bigfoot's hand close up taking an apple? Would you forget? See, that's an honest question. I don't think you would. Whoa! What did I do? Might have lost you. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate anyone who come in, hung out, and video uploads might be slow for a little bit, dealing with all kinds of health issues with the family. This, like I said, this is the first time my brain's got away from it for over a week here. It's been going on, so This is the first time I got myself up away from it and talking, just, you know, bullshitting and hanging out with you guys. It's helped. Whether or not you wanted to hear it or not, it helped. And, well, let's do this real quick. Well, you're done. Let's do this real quick here before I go. And there's only 4 people in the room. So, let me say this. If you got a weak heart or any health conditions, cover your eyes for a few moments and do that right now in 3, 2, 1. Boom! All right, there you go. Figured I'd jump on camera for a second, scare the shit out of your kids, and say thanks for joining me for a little nature walk as I try to. Things like I gotta hold it out here as far as I can get away from me because it's got like a close up, and I don't want to see me that close. I'm sure you don't want to see me that close. But anyway, thanks for joining me. Thanks for hanging out. Gonna go back to reality, which is right at the top of this hill. That's why I'm kind of walking slow. Mercy. I got a lot more videos coming out and whatnot. If you're a follower of the channel, again, I apologize if I'm in a little bit of a upload slump with all the things going on. As I said, got 2 people right near death. Got 1 person injured to bedridden, to being bedridden. And I'm the caregiver. Dun 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 dun. Okay, well, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's pretty much it. Life as you know it. I'm always one that like to remind myself that there's a bigger picture. There's a bigger reason. There's something more than just our little lives involved in all this. And that's kind of hopefully what I can get my mind set back to, and keep pushing on. Right? That's what we do, guys. Appreciate it. Until our trails meet again. I hope all your adventures are awesome. This has been a Macalawano's Pequinot production. I am Macalawano's Pequinot. Lenepe, Bukawanko Omisa. Thanks for watching. And I think we're going to quit there if I figure out how.